Hello from MIT OpenCourseWare Centric Wiki World University and Schools WUAS Weekly Business Meeting, WUAS News and Question and Answer on Monday, September 15th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Greetings from near the Moraga Public Library. And as we wait to see if people will join this WS news and question and answer, I'd like to share a little news with you. I'm wearing my Quakers for Peace t-shirt. I'll just hold it up right now. Computer. Um, in some of these regards, since World University and School is friendly informed, and this weekly business meeting, conducted loosely in the manner of Quakers, is informing and guiding the growth of the WUAS developments in all 200 countries and in all 7,159 known living languages. So to begin, greetings from free MIT OCW centric ocw.mit.edu wiki. Grow with Google WUAS, World University and School. Today's WS News and Question and Answer is in two blog posts beginning with Bald Eagle from September of 2025 in the World University and School.blogspot.com blog post and the scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. And I'll post the video recording of this today there as well. So free online MIT OCW centric wiki World University and School is growing with Grow with Google WUS for free to students, potentially accrediting as an university. WS degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, potentially online, potentially in the back of Toyota vans, Toyota ambulance vans, for example, in each of all 200 countries. IB high school or similar high school degrees, AAAS, Associate of Arts, Associate of Science degrees, 2 years undergraduate degree, and master's degrees, first in English, then in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages. And see Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUAS article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, updated March 2nd, 2024, hashtag World University in School in the toolify.ai webpage. And it's possible that Google AI director, Peter Norvig, who's also loosely our Chief of Information Technology Officer at World University and School, it's possible that he played a role in facilitating the next steps in coding the main WUS homepage, worlduniversityandschool.org, since both the nonprofit 501c3 public charity, MIT OCW-centric World University and School, which is the worlduniversityandschool.org website presently, and the beginning physical digital WS academic press in 7,000 languages, and the WS educational services bookstores, computer stores, robotics stores, grocery stores, hospital technologies stores, distribution centers, plus much more, planned in 200 countries in their main languages. That homepage, which is to the for-profit general stock company WS Corporation legal entity in California. The website is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html, are still not working and still say, sorry, this site is temporarily unavailable. And I think this is an opportunity for their further development, and seeking to trust computer science iterating processes. Having heard back in the middle of last week from a Gate.com supervisor to wait 24 hours, could Gate.com be coding this World University and School .org and worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html further on their Linux operating system, which I saw they were using, with security planning, coding, and planning for coding information technologies decades ahead, and in WS planning to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet from here at World University. In the meantime, here's an invitation to visit the wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org, or teach in a wiki subject you love, WikiTeach, at worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/subjects, or visit the two blogs, worlduniversityandschool.org, worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/search/label/global university, or to check out the WS YouTube channel at youtube.com/Scott McCloud World University /videos. Again, the decades-long website hosting services, which was Gate.com, Hostway, GoDaddy, HostSafe, for both worlduniversityandschool.org and my personal website, scottmccloud.com, have separated in recent years in some of these regards, in a somewhat complicated disentangling, I posit. Please stay tuned further. As a friendly, unprogrammed Quaker, non-theist friend, small f, big F, leading or calling to create free universal education with free to students MIT OCW-centric World University and School WUS degrees in all 200 countries and in their main languages, and free wiki schools for people-to-people wiki teaching and wiki learning in all 7,159 known living languages, WS Monthly Business Meeting is now WS Weekly Business Meeting, WS News and Question and Answer, and loosely conducted in the manner of friends. So the 501c3 tax-exempt U.S. federal entity, MIT OCW-centric World University and Schools, Candid GuideStar, which is affiliated with the IRS, check out World University and Schools GuideStar listing, is also developing with the next state of California tax-exempt World University and School registry to be added to this page, I noticed recently. After this, WS is curious to see how the WS Corporation, and search on this here at bizfileonline.sos.ca.gov/search/business, and to see our WUS corporation ID number. Curious how this for-profit general stock company, state of California legal entity, will be coded for or accounted for or handled by the Candid GuideStars World University and School 501c3 U.S. federal legal entity listing. You can check out the California BizFile online website and search on WS Corporation, or see it in today's blog posts. Again, so check out also both wings of WS when they're working again, with amazing potential synergies between them. 501c3 and the Candid GuideStar listing, and the for-profit general stock company in the state of California legal entity, the WS Corporation, academic press at WS, information and tax ID numbers at the bottom of these now downed pages, worlduniversityandschool.org, worlduniversityandschool.org, academicpress.html. As both wings of WS grow and are seeking to code for most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet from you at World University, and to both end poverty, e.g. by helping to distribute Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency free money daily with an invitation code to you here to get free money daily with mindpi.com/SGKMAC, and to create free universal education in each of all 200 countries with free WS degrees from home from the nation states wiki subject page at World University and School in the country's main languages, and as WS seeks to code for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages at the languages wiki subject page at World University and School. Well, hopefully they'll all be listed in those languages and accessible. And also to create wiki subjects from the wiki subjects page at World University and School as wiki schools in all these languages too, where you can wiki teach and wiki learn in your languages. All the best, abolitionally, a MIT OCW centric wiki World Univ and SCH. Hashtag WUAS abolition movement is growing to abolish the wrongful buying and selling of people in the illegal sex, drugs, violence, car theft industries internationally and their latent networks of violence. You can read more about this growing movement in the blog post from July of 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, beginning Lotus Kamala Padma. Friendly NTF NTQ Quaker greetings. Recording will be posted on the YouTube channel, the current main one for World University and School, Scott McCloud World University videos. So today, further, the agenda, little bit of a focus on Gemini AI and regarding learning AI and machine learning, and also Gemini AI regarding Lego robotics and Scratch programming language. Check out also the Bangladesh World University and School in the Bangla language, which is in sites.google.com, BD World University and School. This will become a subdomain of worlduniversityandschool.org as we build out potentially on sites.google.com. So on the first wing of World University and School, the first of two WUS wings, the 501c3 or similar guidestar.com listing webpage, the CC4 licensed ocw.mit.edu centric wiki, World University and School. Agenda item 0, the recording of Monday, 9/8/2025, MIT OCW centric Grow with Google WS News and Question and Answer is posted with a focus on WUAS accreditation, India WUAS in 22 scheduled languages, and regarding World University and School planning to be in all languages. Check these out. Check out last week's WS News and Question and Answer, WS Weekly Business Meeting. Agenda item 1, World University and School in overview, and with a focus on beginning and emerging Scotland World University and School, Mexico World University and School, Iceland World University and School, England World University and School, and Russia World University and Schools. Plus, so I recently attended a webinar with Gary Hall and Sasha Anakina and Peter Baker, who are all living in the British Isles and are academics there, and where Gabriela Mendez Cota was the moderator in Mexico City, in discussing and on a discussion of Gary Hall's new book titled Masked Media. So more about this in a second. Thanks for your email, dear Gary, Sasha, Peter, Gabriela, all. Thanks for your email reply to all of us regarding the future of the university especially. And I appreciate your radical thinking in your masked media what it means to be human in the age of artificial creative intelligence, while keeping academic careers in mind, for example, Gary and Sasha, and regarding the arts and humanities especially. I also appreciate your title, Masked Media, and its reference to mass media, and possibly regarding Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Message, where media, as we all know, is the main means of mass communication, and its plural is medium. So here are the open access resources from MIT OCW that WUAS is developing with. The MIT OCW website in 2025, ocw.mit.edu. And from a previous iteration of MIT OpenCourseware in 7 languages, check it out at opencw.aprende.org/courses/translated courses. You can see these 6 languages on this page, plus the English, on the following link regarding MIT OCW courses in their departments, numbering here on this webpage 38 departments at opencw.aprende.org/courses. WUAS has put together about 42 majors here in English at worlduniversityandschool.org, which hopefully will be up in the next few days again. But this webpage is currently in development. And potentially, as WS seeks to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, each a Wikidata PIN number from World University, as wiki teachers and wiki learners among speakers of all 7,159 known living languages, for free universal education, and possibly as the website host develops their Linux servers for security, and even for possibly a realistic virtual Earth. Think Google Street View with time slider maps, Earth, TensorFlow AI, in an iterating creation of realistic virtual Earth for everything, including at the cell level and the molecule level, molecular view level. So this is continuing to Gary, Sasha, Peter, and Gabriella. Regarding the future of MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School, Free Wiki and MIT OCW-centric, as a kind of masked media, here are the beginnings of a number of online WUAS universities. Scotland World University and School from worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Scotland, planned in English, Scottish Gaelic, and Scots and the Scots language. Mexico World University and School at wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Mexico, planned in Spanish and all other languages in Mexico for free online WUAS degrees and as wiki schools. And Spanish, the Spanish language is an official language in about 22 or so countries, 25 countries out of about 200 countries in the world. So potentially World University and School might grow further in communication with possibly Gabriela Mendez Cota, for example. Iceland World University and School, which has not yet begun, planned in the Icelandic language. And do you speak some Icelandic, Gary, since you were born there? England World University and School at wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/England, and Russia World University and School. Only the very early beginning worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki Russian Federation universities are begun, but Russia World University and School planned in Russian will emerge from the nation states wiki on the nation states wiki page as well, and potentially who knows? But in communication with Grow with Google WES program and even Sergey Brin and Larry Page, as we seek to grow further in Russia, and which all will emerge from the nation states wiki page and in these countries' main and official languages. For online free to students, CC4 licensed MIT OCW centric Grow with Google WES free WUS degrees. Again, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB high school or similar AA, AS, and master's degrees from home, as well as wiki schools in all the languages in each of these countries for people-to-people, open wiki teaching and wiki learning. Open access-wise, a focus of Gary Hall's presentation on his book, Masked Media, WS builds both on the open access licensing of Creative Commons CC4 licensing, which says anyone can, one, share it freely, two, adapt it, e.g. with AI and machine learning, but three, non-commercially, hence free to students WUS degrees from home. MIT OCW centric and WS seeks to facilitate open access people-to-people wiki teaching and wiki learning for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages. Mutual intelligibility being one definition of language that the Ethnologue based in Texas uses. So seeking also to be highest quality, and also there's, as an aside, there's a remarkable opportunity to study cultural differences between in learning and educational systems between all 200 countries at World University and School. So an anthropological opportunity, a sociological opportunity, and potentially with information technologies in new ways, even in a realistic virtual Earth. I think Google Street View with TimeSlider, Google Maps, Google Earth say for a virtual Scotland or in a virtual Scotland emerging, a virtual Iceland, a virtual Mexico, a virtual England, a virtual Russia. So further to Gary, Sasha, Peter, and Gabriella, WS on both of our WS wings seeks to hire as many as 2.5 million people over the next 50 to 100 years, slightly bigger than Walmart's number of employees, approximately 2.3 million people, which is in 19 out of about 200 countries, and WS seeks to grow and develop in all 200 countries per the Olympics, leaving about 181 out of 200 countries in which to grow are physical, digital, WS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies, and to become the Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Cambridge, Oxford, Technical University of Munich, Ludwig Maximilian Universität of München, Heidelberg University, and the Humboldt University of Berlin, and the PSL University, and Paris Soclé University, the Sorbonne University, Sciences Po, and the Institut Polytechnique de Paris, and to potentially hire faculty from among these universities' graduates of the internet. So we're seeking to become the Harvard, MIT, Oxbridge plus of the internet in all 200 countries and in their main languages. Thanks so much for your two books, Gary Hall, which you shared with me on universities and which are open access. I'll look forward to looking through them and see some of the PSs, postscripts below. And per my upcoming Society Information Technology and Global University book, Academic Press at WUAS. I've added the titles of your books, Gary Hall, from here at the World University and School wiki page, open access resources. Check it out. Using a kind of modified AAA, American Anthropological Association citation practice. Um, so that would read Hall, Gary, 2016, the Uberification of the University, Minnesota, USA, University of Minnesota Press. And secondly, published a year or two earlier by these authors, Van Morick, Brookman, Pauline, Gary Hall, Ted Byfield, Sean Hides, and Simon Worthington, 2015, Open Education, a study in disruption, London and New York, Roman and Littlefield. So further, in the summary, as I added these two books by Gary Hall with the above citation practices to the open access resources wiki subject page at World University and School, in the summary field, I typed added two books by Gary Hall on the university and open education. And rather than adding them further in their entirety, both to archive.org, per your kind suggestion, Gary, to feel free to share them, I found only a limited preview of one in archive.org and an earlier version of the other in academia.edu, which I also added to the citations for your books and to the open access resources page at World University and School as a wiki subject. Regarding your work on the city, let's explore this further in a physical, digital, realistic virtual Earth. See the Tulify AI article from Peter Norvig. And hashtag for cities, hashtags on Twitter and LinkedIn, and one which we can wiki edit and wiki add to as end users. So a realistic virtual Earth we can wiki add to and wiki edit potentially. Like we can add photos and videos to Google Street View with Time Slider presently. And see this photo of the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse, my ethnographic field site and the subject of my first book from 2016, Naked Harbin Ethnography, hippies, warm pools, counterculture, clothing optionality, and virtual Harbin. So I added this to Street View, and it's in last week's WS News and Question and Answer, a single photo from 2011. I posted it a few years later, and it's a Harbin Gatehouse photo so how to develop a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs from this single photo to start. And even further in 2011. So Fei Li, a computer scientist who I think has a PhD from Stanford, recently posted on Twitter an incredible creation of virtual worlds, I think one or two virtual worlds from a single image, and thus began to build out a virtual world online that I think is sustainable or durable through the years, interestingly. How to do this also, not only for a realistic virtual Harbin, say from this one Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse photo from 2011, but to create realistic virtual Earth for museums and a realistic virtual Earth for libraries, both for museums and libraries, both for all museums ever, all libraries ever, in all languages, and in Google Street View with Google Time Slider, and in GMaps, and for university research, to which we can wiki add to, e.g. with the Harbin Gatehouse photo, where so how to develop a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs from this single photo to start, and especially in 2011, in contrast to, say, the year 1975 or 1993, for example, and walk in past the Harbin Gatehouse to soak in the Harbin warm pool virtually from home. Interesting possibilities in building out a field site. for ethnographic and STEM and STEAM research too. And see the recent, also to Gary, Sasha, Peter, and Gabriella, and you who are listening or watching this or reading the blog posts, see also this recent Google Earth, these recent Google Earth tweets, Twitter posts in some of these regards. One is titled, or one reads, Historical Street View for Professionals. See how a neighborhood, coastline, or property has changed over time. Planners, builders, and land stewards can now see change unfold, street by street, year by year. Explore more. Hashtag on Earth. And further, a second Twitter post from Google Earth. One of our most requested features is here. Undo, redo in Google Earth. Instantly reverse or reapply changes without missing a beat. Your maps, your way. Hashtag on Earth. And a third Twitter post from Google Earth in these regards. Celebrate the strength and beauty of indigenous languages with this Google Earth project, featuring audio from 50 plus indigenous speakers. Hashtag on Earth. And lastly, and regarding a Petri dish that Google Earth created a Twitter post for. And so this Google Earth Twitter post reads, honored to see Alpha Earth Foundations recognized in the Time 10 AI Applications Shaping the Future article. Hashtag Alpha Earth, hashtag Google Earth Engine. So in some of these regards, I am wondering if this Petri dish, this picture of a Petri dish is suggestive even of the potential for a realistic virtual Earth for cells, biological cells, and a realistic virtual Earth for genes, and a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal, with computer science and AI and ML, and Petri dishes, and experimentation, too, virtually. All of which will interoperate with potentially World University and School's emerging realistic virtual Earth and a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs ethnographic field site project, and building out in Google Street View with Time Slider, and where you can walk the 4 miles, I think, down to the town of Middletown, California, but where you can't go into Harbin Hot Springs Heart Consciousness Church yet to soak virtually in the Harbin Hot Springs warm pool. Stay tuned. This is a plan for World University and School. And you can click on this link to the Harbin Hot Springs Gatehouse in Google Street View with Time Slider from the link in both blogs, for example, to walk down the 4 miles to Middletown, both in the years, I think, of 2024, also in 2012 and 2007. And how could World University and School build out 2011 from the Harbin Gatehouse at Harbin Hot Springs for virtual ethnographic field site and history, too, in a realistic virtual Harbin for history, a realistic virtual Earth for history as well. And all this for my Harbin ethnographic book project #2, and for publishing from Google Street View with a time slider as well. Glad Peter Norvig, in his incredible Tulify AI WS article titled Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, updated 3/2/25, wrote about a virtual Harbin Hot Springs and for the study of bliss therein even. search on these phrases: study of bliss, virtual Harbin. In Peter Norvig's incredible Tulify AI article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI. So we'll add you, Gary Hall, Sasha Anakina, Peter Baker, Gabrielle Mendez Cota to the Open WS Weekly business meetings, news and question and answer emailings on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific time in Zoom, and the recordings of which will be posted to youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University /videos. Thanks again. Kind regards, friendly Quaker greetings, best wishes, Scott. I blogged about some of this here on Friday, September 12th, 2025, in the blog post beginning narrow-leaved marsh orchid dactylorhiza in scott-mcleod.blogspot.com's blog. Agenda item 2, when will we cure aging? George Church, a 7 minutes video, and then which is an excerpt from A Billion Years of Evolution in a Single Afternoon, George Church, which is a 90 minutes video. So Dwarkesh Patel, I think, helped excerpt 7 minutes on when will we cure aging, and it asks, or it suggests, George Church suggests here, the possibility of being able to replace all nuclei of all cells in a mammal's body, potentially, which would have significant effects on aging reversal, for example, and potentially with a vaccine. Quite a set of challenges, I would think, for synthetic biologists. But I in World University School came into conversation with this, how best in a realistic virtual Earth for cells to replace every nuclei in an entire mouse, mammal, or human, hashtag body, mind, WUAS, hashtag Gemini AI, Ray cells, and replacing nuclei in mouse cells. And I asked Gemini AI about this and got an incredible response. And per When Will We Cure Aging, George Church, 7 minutes, this 7-minute video. So this is a set of Twitter posts. Check them out. Further, it's also on LinkedIn, and it's in the blog post also beginning bowhead whale, one of the longest living organisms, species on Earth, possibly 100 to 200 years. Agenda item 3. Can kids learn the basics of coding for AI and ML, WUAS, and LLMs with hashtag Scratch programming language and playing with, e.g., hashtag Lego Spike Prime Robotics Kit? So I searched in Gemini for this. 2 hashtags in these regards: Gemini AI, Ray Learning, and AI and ML, hashtag Gemini AI, Ray Lego, and Scratch. Can you and I, too, learn the basics of coding for AI and ML and LLMs with Scratch programming language and the Lego Spike Prime Robotics Kit? Hands-on. I also found a YouTube video where 2 kids were playing with Scratch and built a humanoid robot and potentially facilitated further steps towards learning how to code for AI and ML, LLMs, too, large language models. In these regards, there are 2 little programs. One is titled Machine Learning for Kids, and the other is called Teachable Machine. Teach a computer to recognize your own images, sounds, and poses, where you further, with the Scratch programming language and Lego robotics kits like Spike Prime, can learn AI and machine learning with the Scratch programming language and Lego Spike Prime robotics kits. And this is one of the responses that Google search said to can kids learn the basics of AI with Scratch and Lego robotics? Yes, kids can learn the basics of AI, machine learning, and large language models using Scratch and a Lego Spike Prime robotics kit. Lego Spike Prime kit. The drag and drop, block-based programming of Scratch simplifies complex coding, making it accessible for children. Tools like machine learning for kids and teachable machine integrate with Scratch, allowing students to train simple AI models for tasks like image recognition, sound classification, and natural language processing. The Lego Spike Prime Kit allows kids to apply these concepts in a physical way, programming their robots to make decisions based on sensor data, such as a color sorting robot or a robot that navigates a maze using a distance sensor. This combination of visual programming and hands-on robotics provides a fun, engaging, and practical way for kids to learn fundamental AI concepts. And check out also the Robotics Wiki School at World University and School and the Artificial Intelligence Wiki School. And read more about all of this in the blog post beginning Sailfish from September of 2025 in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog. 3A, how to help WUAS students learn AI and robotics with this and at the university level. And 3B, how best to develop online clubs for this and for anyone where we can all make Lego robots socially. For example, agenda item 4, a realistic virtual Earth for genetic traits, modeling, and simulations for all species. I asked Gemini, our conversational generative artificial intelligence, about this, and it said, building a realistic virtual Earth for genetic trait modeling across all species is a massive, long-term scientific endeavor rather than a single existing product. However, several sophisticated computational platforms address different aspects of this vision, from spatially explicit population genetics to whole ecosystem simulations and phylogenetic visualization. These tools are built on computational systems biology, using vast genetic data and high-performance computing to approximate ecological and evolutionary processes on local and global scales. And the key challenges, and read more about this in the blog post beginning Madhavi Lata flower, a flower from India that was around at the Bhagavad Gita's writing time about 2,500, 2,200 years ago in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from September of 2025. 4A, a realistic virtual Earth, World University and School, Peter Norvig Tulify. I searched on this and found further fascinating response from Gemini AI. Read more about this in the same blog post, beginning Madhavi Lata flower or Madhavi Lata flower in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from September of 2025. Agenda item 5, building STEAM academic virtual field sites and to reinvent history too. I created a set of blog posts, Twitter posts about this. Visit the great free National Forest Service, hashtag hot springs, hashtag east of Sierra MTNS mountains, like hashtag Buckeye hot springs, hashtag Travertine hot springs, in hashtag 1960s, 1970s, which were deserted on September 9th, 2025, last week when I went there, and by hashtag reinventing history in hashtag realistic virtual Earth, in hashtag G Street View with hashtag G Time Slider, to visit them in hashtag realistic virtual Earth for hot springs. So the idea here is to aggregate databases of photos and videos, possibly, and other evidence and documentary resources from the 1960s and 70s at Buckeye Hot Springs and Travertine Hot Springs, and to create hot springs in these years from that time as an interesting way to reinvent history in new ways with Google Street View with Time Slider. And this retweets a Google AI Studio, which URL is aistudio.google.com. How best to create the beginning of hashtag realistic virtual harbin, hashtag hot springs warm pool with hashtag onsen video. And check out this incredible Japanese onsen video in YouTube, which is interactive in brand new ways. And from sitting on hashtag H warm pools front bench near hashtag Harbin WP front stairs, warm pool front stairs, looking toward the Harbin hot pool room doorway. Check out aistudio.google.com. It's pretty cool. And potentially it would allow you or I to make a virtual hot springs. I may explore it further. I've explored it a little bit, but stay tuned. And regarding also agenda item 5A, the great National Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management hot springs east of Sierra Mountains, like Buckeye Hot Springs, Travertine Hot Springs, and the hashtag Little Creek Hot Springs, which seemed deserted just last week on the day I visited them. Time to develop in a realistic virtual earth for hot springs in a realistic virtual earth with a realistic virtual harbin too, and with this YouTube interactive technology of this onsen with a Japanese title. Check it out. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Giant Otter Bolivia in my blog from September of 2025, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 5B, building a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs as physical digital ethnographic field site further, and in communication with Ishvara, Bob Hartley, founder of Harbin Hot Springs, Heart Consciousness Church since 1972. Ishvara, this is an email I sent to Ishvara and a number of other people with whom we had kind of an online email birthday celebration. Happy belated birthday again, and glad to have played Scottish small pipes for you up at the Domes on your celebration some months ago. While I don't have another paper copy of my book, Naked Harbin Ethnography, Hippies, Warm Pools, Counterculture, Clothing Optionality, and Virtual Harbin to give you, touching base about Harbin Hot Springs as an ethnographic field site for ethnographic book project number 2. And read more about this in the blog post beginning Madhavi Lata Flower in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's September 2025 blog post. Agenda item 6. The Bolivian Quaker Education Fund, Healthcare in Bolivia, invited me and World University and School to a meeting online, but out of concern for even possibly Quaker international organized crime involvement, I and World University and School won't be participating and in seeking to stay alive. And further, in regarding WS seeking to build out medical schools in all 200 countries, so in Bolivia and also in South Africa. So I replied to them on Saturday afternoon, Dear Bolivia Quaker Education Fund and Rebecca, and Sid Mazumdar in Health and Human Services in the greater DC area, and Ed Smythe, MD, affiliated with Kaiser Permanente in NorCal, and attorney Sean Flaherty, and Lieutenant John Tadler, Pittsburgh Police, and regarding FBI workshop in 2013, and Peter Norvig, Google AI director, and friends, Quakers, David Matchett, Paul Jolly, and Eric Myers, who's also an attorney in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'll read more about World University and Schools planning for medical schools and in Bolivia and at Bolivia World University and School too. Greetings from friendly Quaker-informed MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School, which seeks to create medical schools in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages. So in Bolivia World University and School, and that URL is wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Bolivia, but it's not yet in Spanish or the other languages in Bolivia. And greetings from, and which you can access from the nation states wiki subject page at World University and School. And possibly in more languages than Spanish there, e.g. possibly in Quechua, Aymara, Guarani, plus. And thanks partly to information technologies. Perhaps this will all occur even, brainstorming-wise, in the back of Toyota ambulance vans and with Toyota humanoid robot MD professors of surgery and all other medical specialties, and with Bolivians. And as WS seeks to collaborate with Bolivians, some of 12.41 million people, to potentially first develop our online medical schools with actual medical doctors, MDs, in approximately 24 main specialties, and see the Gemini AI response about this, a number of specialties there are in many teaching hospitals in the US. Online Bolivia WUS for all of our planned free wiki schools for people-to-people open wiki teaching and wiki learning seeks to be in all of the 37 languages of Bolivia with time. And potentially in the WS medical schools with Toyota humanoid robot MD professors of surgery, plus working in these languages. And check out the hospital at World University and School, a beginning wiki subject, not yet in a realistic virtual earth for hospitals, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/hospital. And check out the World University Medical School, not yet in Spanish, not yet in Bolivia, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/World University Medical School, and especially in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for surgery on hashtag Twitter X and hashtag LinkedIn, and in a virtual Bolivia, hashtag for Bolivia. And again, at Bolivia World University and School. Bolivia is in its very early phases as an online university at World University and School, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Bolivia. It's possible that WS will do this in collaboration with Kaiser Permanente Healthcare Organization too, which is in 8 US states presently. And WUS brainstorming-wise is exploring making such online WUS medical schools in the back of Toyota ambulance vans, available in, for example, the Black townships in Africa, in South Africa, for example, too. You can read more about this in the blog post beginning African Penguin in August of 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, and also in the blog post from September of 2025 beginning Sailfish in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 7. Further regarding of realistic virtual earth for genetics, and emerging from potentially or with the Google Street View in a smart room video from Igloo Vision in Shropshire, England, and even with what I'm calling planetary projection into the middle of a Street View room. So smart TVs on 5 or 6 sides of a room that could even project into the room so that one could be in and among cells and molecules, and for aging reversal scientific research and n-dimensionally, infinitely dimensionally. Read more about this in the blog post beginning Musk Ox. In my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from September of 2025. So in these regards, how could we also, from that single Petri dish, from that Google Earth image that I mentioned earlier, do aging reversal in a Petri dish experimentally and with a host, hundreds, thousands of online from home virtual aging reversal Petri dish experiments. So the beginning of a Twitter post in these regards, in what ways could MIT OCW centric Wiki World University and School in the Grow with Google WS program further develop a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal in G Street View and G Cell View with G Time Slider regarding a question I asked Gemini AI? How has aging reversal been proven in Petri dish experiments? And read the incredible Gemini AI response. And regarding the Twitter post from Google Earth, beginning honored to see Alpha Earth Foundations recognized in the top 10 in the Time Top AI Applications, Time Magazine Top AI Applications Shaping the Future article. Hashtag Alpha Earth, hashtag Google's Earth Engine. Read more about this in the blog post from yesterday, Sunday, September 14th, 2025, beginning Musk Ox. So going to the other side, other wing of World University and School, now the WS Corporation, the second of two WS wings, a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, academic press in 7,159 known living languages with machine and human translation. Agenda item A. Read about it in the Sailfish blog post, but a set of tweets in these regards and LinkedIn posts. Great. Dr. Chung Dao Fan, who is one of two Pi founders to speak at the Token 2049 conference coming up in October in Singapore, which is one of the largest crypto events in the world, with a partnering email from Stanford MindPi to the WS Corporation, WS Press, how best at World University and School to distribute Pi crypto to 7.9 billion people and to end poverty. So the idea here would be, in what ways could World University and School possibly with our partnering email from Stanford MindPi, and possibly in communication with Dr. Cheng Dao Fan, find a way to plan in the building out of Pi cryptocurrency into tokens to end poverty, possibly by 2049, as cryptocurrencies I think I've read there's 25,000 of them or something like that, all begin possibly to plan toward becoming tokenized in one way as units of exchange, possibly thinking in terms of 25 years ahead. In what ways could World University and School coding for 7.9 billion people make Stanford MindPi available as tokens by 2049 to all 7.9 billion people, particularly the poorest, on smartphones, providing also electricity and free universal education and smartphones to potentially to the poorest as well in all 200 countries and among speakers of all 7,159 known living languages. And agenda item B is a related set of questions that I asked Gemini AI about. Are all cryptocurrencies heading toward tokens becoming the basic unit of exchange, e.g. in 2049? And Gemini AI said, whether cryptocurrency tokens will become the basic unit of exchange by 2049 is highly uncertain, with several major factors pointing toward and away from that outcome. While tokens have undeniable potential for innovation in specific areas, the path to replacing conventional currencies is hindered by issues like volatility, regulation, and scalability. It is far more likely that a diverse, multi-layered financial system will exist with different forms of digital money serving distinct purposes. Read further this Gemini AI reply and more about all of this in the blog post beginning Sailfish in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com's blog. Agenda item C on the WS Press side, the WS Corporation side, and regarding inventing the book anew and vis-a-vis a physical digital Harbin Hot Springs ethnographic book project number 2. So I've asked this before, and I shared this Twitter post, I think created it about a year ago. But in what ways could I co-author my second Naked Harbin ethnography book with Peter Norvig, inventing the book anew in Google Street View? So the Twitter post reads, co-author second Naked Harbin ethnography book with Peter Norvig, inventing the book anew in G Street View with TimeSlider, publishing to 1, to paper, and 2, create new hardware formats at the WS Press in 7,000 languages and with WS AI and ML, and regarding this video in some of these senses. With Peter about new digital formats, I think. And check out Peter Norvig's Toolify AI WS article about World University and School as well, mentioning a realistic virtual Earth and studying bliss at a virtual Harbin. So the text part potentially partly would be in text in the sidebar. So an expanded reading of this Twitter post for clarity, co-author second Naked Harbin hashtag Naked Harbin ethnography with hashtag Peter Norvig, inventing the book anew in hashtag G Street View with hashtag TimeSlider, publishing to 1, paper, and 2, create new hardware formats like digital glasses, Project Muhan, Google's and Samsung's project with potentially developing with Gemini AI, digital mask, and WS multimedia rooms. And check out Peter Norvig's video in these regards from a couple of years ago titled What to Know About Data Science and Machine Learning in 2022, Peter Norvig, and see the Toolify AI WS article from Peter Norvig about World University in School as well. Agenda item CA and the last agenda item, time travelers, and regarding the second Harbin Hot Springs ethnography book project, time travelers. Travel to 2007 at Harbin Hot Springs by clicking on that year in Google Street View with TimeSlider, and potentially walk into Harbin in 2007 or 1975. And with that TimeSlider function, or in 2012, or in 2024, or 2011, or 1993, and with that time aspect in Google Street View with TimeSliders, also code a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs for longevity and aging reversal, genetic drug therapies, in a realistic virtual Earth. So a set of Twitter posts in these regards, time travelers with longevity and aging reversal genetic drug therapies in a realistic virtual Earth, regarding a brand new invention of the book, even, and for second actual virtual Harbin Hot Springs ethnography, for example, in Google Street View, Google Maps, and check on the Harbin Gatehouse link that's in this Twitter post, hashtag text in the sidebar, and see, for example, the blog post from July of 2024, beginning Alta, Tokima, Wilderness, Nevada. That time slider function opens up a whole world of potential, not only for historical travel, but possibly connecting Google Street View with time slider and little Pegman to our avatar agent electronic health records, and potentially time sliding us forward past 122 years of age by adding genetic therapies, maybe in the form of vaccines, maybe time sliding back our eyes um, in our electronic health records and uploading the genetic therapies to our bodies, our eyes back to 30-year-olds, or our vision back to 30-year-olds, or our other organs back to 25-year-olds, for example, or the whole system, the whole body-mind system, slide it forward, dial it back, all around a kind of even aging reversal machine and a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal. Think Google Street View with time slider. Think a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs and a realistic virtual Earth for everything. So that's the news and question and answer for today, Monday, September 15th, 2025. I'll post the recording of this to the WS Press on Twitter and the other main Twitter feed, twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH, after uploading it to the main YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University /videos, and posting it also to both of today's blog posts, which begin with bald eagle, and in other ways as well, to LinkedIn too. So until next week, September 22nd, Monday at 10 a.m. Have a good week. Come into conversation with World University and School in social media or in other ways. Email me at president@worlduniversityandschool.org if you have questions or know of students who might want to matriculate online for free MIT OCW-centric Grow with Google WS degrees online from home. Until next week, and bye for now.